Good morning, students. Here we meet again. In the previous video, you learned about earthquake. That was a natural disaster. In this video, we are going to learn about some other natural disasters.
Jasma and her villagers suffered for a very long time. They had nothing to eat and cook. For many days, the village women cooked food provided by their sarpanch, Mota Babu. They had no house in that cold winter. On some days, they got food, medicines, and clothes from nearby cities. They were so helpless that they rushed to grab whatever they got to eat and wore whatever clothes were available to them.
I remember sending clothes and packed food items to such people. There were organizations who were asking for donations.
Do you know governments as well as private agencies help victims of calamity during an emergency? Many countries have a number of organizations whose purpose is to provide assistance, shelter, food, clothes, and medicine in dealing with any emergency. They help the victims to put up tents. It is not easy to stay in plastic tents in cold winters.
Because this disaster took place on 26 January and it was very cold at that time. So people donated woolen clothes also to such people.
To provide help to victims, many international and national welfare organizations or non-government organizations like UNICEF, Intersource, Red Cross Society, Direct Relief International, Ramakrishna Mission, CASA, and Voluntary Health Association of India work tirelessly to provide assistance during natural calamities. Sometimes Army and paramilitary forces like NCC, National Cadet Corps, and NDRF, National Disaster Response Force, are sent to rescue the victims from an affected area.
All these organizations, they work with local people. Even there are volunteers who are local and who are ready to help.
Some scientists and engineers educate people on how to build houses which can withstand an earthquake. They also show the designs of such houses. Life goes on. After some time, they all work together to rebuild their village. Some dug and brought clay from the pond. They mixed it with cow dung and made large cakes. They put them one above the other to make a wall. They even whitewashed the walls and decorated them with beautiful designs. They put up a thatched roof on them.
Such houses in Kutch area, they are called bhonga houses. And these houses, they can withstand earthquake. They are not damaged and they protect the people who are living inside them.
Earthquake is one of the natural disasters. There are other natural disasters such as flood, famine, cyclone, drought and tsunami, etc. Let us know more about them.
A disaster is a sudden event that causes a lot of damage. These events are not man-made because they are caused by the forces of nature that often adversely affect the human life and environment. But do you know why these natural disasters take place? Yes, they are caused by extreme conditions of weather or changes that take place inside the earth. Disasters can occur in the form of cyclone and flood, etc. In some parts of India, we have very heavy rainfall during monsoon. Due to this, the water in the rivers overflows onto the nearby lands, causing floods. In coastal areas, this heavy rainfall is accompanied by very strong winds. This is called a cyclone. Cyclones usually occur in coastal areas due to the drift in the temperate of the coastal regions. In India, States like Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal, Bihar, and Assam are prone to cyclones and floods. India has faced one of the strongest cyclones ever recorded in the North Indian Ocean in the year 1999. It was named as Paradip cyclone that had hit the Odisha port. It caused the massive destruction and loss of lives. The after effects of cyclones and floods are really bad. Destruction of land, houses, and crops affect many people and they become homeless. Shortage of drinking water and food affects all living beings. Also, in this type of unhygienic conditions, germs spread and there is an outbreak of diseases such as jaundice, malaria, and cholera. Such effects of natural disasters cause the unfortunate condition of famine. It means a massive starvation due to severe shortage of food. Along with this, the crop failure or overpopulation in an area also led to famine. Famines in India resulted in more than 60 million deaths over the course of the 18th, 19th, and early 20th centuries. Although controlling these natural occurring conditions are beyond the control of humans, but still some preventive measures can be taken to avoid such calamities. The best way to eliminate excessive floods is to keep the trees intact in the soil. Regular checking and maintaining of dams will also alleviate floods. Some precautions which can be taken after flood or cyclone affected areas are to keep the first aid kit ready with you. Turn off the main electrical switches of your houses. Drink only boiled water if possible, and also take help of government and NGOs. Respect for nature believes that we have a duty to protect not just individual and animals, but also to look around at the way we keep our environment healthy and green.
We all can contribute in case of any disaster that happens in the country. There is an agency set up by the government that is called NDMA, that is National Disaster Management Authority, and then we can also donate to the Prime Minister Relief Fund, which will help the people of the state who are suffering from any kind of disaster.
What is a drought? Lack of rainfall for over a long period of time causes drought. Some of the effects of drought are rivers and ponds dry up. This causes scarcity of water. Farmers are unable to grow crops, which leads to food shortage and causes famine. Thousands of people die because they have no food. To prevent droughts, we should use drip and sprinkle irrigation system for crop cultivation, which will save water. Saving and conserving rainwater through rainwater harvesting. During a drought, we should watch television for latest updates or warning or advice. Keep the first aid kit ready. Tsunami means huge waves. It is the most important cause of flood in the coastal areas. It is really interesting to know the features of a tsunami. The tsunami waves can be as high as 15 meters, and these waves can travel at a speed of 800 kilometers per hour. Tsunami is caused by the underwater disturbances, such as earthquakes and volcanoes. Ripples are formed around the event. These ripples finally turn into huge waves when they approach the coast. Thousands of people living along the coast are killed, and the entire towns and villages along the coastline are destroyed. Natural disasters always affect the lives of poor people. The impact leaves them shattered and scared for a very long time. It is not easy to relocate or rebuild your house. The loss of loved ones is a huge loss. With less or no money, people try to rebuild their lives. Disaster such as flood and famine affects farmers the most. Fishermen are mostly affected by tsunami. In case of any emergency or an accident, we should always have the numbers of the fire station 101, a nearby hospital, an ambulance, and police station 100 listed with us.
This is very important. You may need help from these people in case of an accident or any emergency. On page 137, there is a column and you have to find out the phone number of fire station, nearby hospital, ambulance and police station. They should be very handy with you.
Recap. In the year 2001, the Gujarat earthquake occurred on January 26 at 8:46 a.m. It lasted for about 2 minutes. The earthquake reached a magnitude of between 7.6 and 7.77 on the moment magnitude scale. The quake killed around 20,000 people, injured another 167,000, and destroyed nearly 400,000 homes. The shockwaves spread 700 kilometers. 21 districts were affected and 600,000 people left homeless.
So let us not forget that disaster can happen to anybody at any time, and we should be prepared and ready to help the people. Thank you, and you must read page number 136, 137 and 138. Thank you and have a nice day.